What's up, FilmnerdTV? It is your reigning, defending, two-time FilmnerdTV Wrestling Predictions Heavyweight Champion of the World, the Cosmic Night Fury, Nico Suave Regoli, and I'm wearing this Steelers Jester hat because football is making a gigantic fool out of me today, specifically in the world of fantasy. So hopefully I have better luck with my predictions here for tonight's WWE Hell in a Cell pay-per-view event. We have, I believe, how many matches? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 matches to go through here, and so we're going to start off like this. We're going to start with the pre-show match, which is the New Day defending their SmackDown Tag Team Championships against Rusev Day. That is Aiden English and Rusev with Lana accompanying them. Because it's a pre-show match, I'm going with the champions retaining. Might be a bad pick here, especially if I'm just judging it off of this being a pre-show match. But the fact that it is a pre-show match tells me that they're going to play it safe. New Day's going to retain, and we're going to see the next chapter in this relationship between Aiden English and Rusev. Like, Aiden English and Rusev have been on point lately, but it's safe to say that the Usos have been not the Usos, the New Day have been more on point, and I just think the ball is in their court right now. We shall see. We shall see. But I'm going with the New Day retaining. Next up, we have The Miz and Maurice taking on Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella in a mixed tag team match. And for me, I have The Miz and Maurice winning for 2 reasons. One, old school booking. If you look at what happened this Tuesday on SmackDown, Brie and Daniel Bryan, they got the upper hand on both Miz and Maurice very easily. So if you go by old school Vince McMahon booking, if you came out victorious on the go-home show, you're going to lose on the pay-per-view. So that's one reason why I have Miz and Maurice winning this. The second reason is because Miz and Daniel Bryan are scheduled to face each other at the Super Showdown in Australia with in a number 1 contenders match for the WWE Championship. The winner of that match will go on to challenge either AJ or Joe, depending on who holds the title after that event. And I feel like Daniel Bryan, I believe now he's officially signed, sealed, and delivered to stay with WWE. So I think he's going to get that number 1 contender shot. But they want Miz to look strong going into that match. So I feel like tonight is going to be another win for the Mizanin couple. Next up, we have Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler defending their Raw Tag Team Championships against Dean Ambrose and the Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins. Now I'm going back to old school booking again for my pick on this one. I feel like Ambrose and Rollins, they came out on the winning end on Monday. They got the jump on Ziggler and McIntyre, and then they were able to get the jump on Baron Corbin as well via that cop that they brought in. So I feel like with all that momentum, that's the vent if you hear anything. I feel like the momentum is now on. It's because the momentum is now on the Shield side that McIntyre and Ziggler are going to win to balance things out. So I see McIntyre and Ziggler retaining. Next up, we have Charlotte Flair defending her SmackDown Women's Championship against Becky Lynch. Now I'm going. I know I've said old school booking for a lot of these ones so far, but I feel like if they want to draw out this rivalry all the way to Evolution, the all women's pay per view, uh, then the smart move would be to have Becky win the title here, have Charlotte maybe win it back at the Super Showdown, and then at Evolution you go big. You put some sort of insane stipulation on it to finish off this rivalry, and have Becky win it back there, or Charlotte retains there, depending on what you want to do. But I feel like it is the right moment for Becky Lynch to take this title. So I'm going with Becky Lynch here tonight. She wins the SmackDown Women's Championship. Next up, we have Ronda Rousey defending her Raw Women's Championship against former champion Alexa Bliss. I guess you could say old school booking applies to this one because Alexa Bliss kind of beat the shit out of Ronda's ribs on Monday. So technically, Ronda is the stunned competitor in this one. Alexa came out looking stronger on the Go Home show. So I'm going to say Ronda Rousey retains based on old school booking. Now, this next one is hard. This is the final non-inside the cell match that we have here. And that is AJ Styles defending against Samoa Joe, defending his WWE Championship against Samoa Joe again. And if I'm correct, the last match between the two ended in a double count-out, double disqualification. I can't remember for certain, but I know there wasn't an official winner by pinfall or submission. And I feel like the lengths Joe has gone to piss off AJ Styles, I feel like we are bound to see AJ go off his rocker again. And because this is a standard one-on-one matchup as of right now, for all I know, Paige could probably change it to a no disqualification match or some sort of stipulation match tonight. I don't know for sure. But with what I have listed down in front of me right now for stipulations, I am going with Joe will come out victorious, but AJ will retain. So I'm going with a disqualification victory for Joe. So, Hunter, however you want to make a decision on that, I'll say that, I don't know, we'll discuss this behind the scenes, but for now, I'm going with Joe winning, but AJ retaining. How much of that specific prediction we keep in for the official results, we can determine that later. But I'm just telling you, I think Joe wins, but AJ keeps the belt, especially considering they're booked to face each other again at the Super Showdown. And I feel like they might treat the Super Showdown a little bit more like a real event compared to the Greatest Royal Rumble because of Triple H and The Undertaker. They're making such a big deal out of that match that I feel like they have to put some more emphasis on the other matches to make it feel more like a canon event. So I feel like Joe wins here but does not get the belt. And if he does get the belt, I feel like the Super Showdown would be a great place for him to get it. Now we move into the Hell in a Cell matches. And these ones are hard because I've got one face winning and one heel winning, but for unique reasons. Originally, I was going to say that Randy Orton would defeat Jeff Hardy inside Hell in a Cell. And my reasoning why is because it's a very behind-the-scenes reason, but if you've noticed, Jeff Hardy can no longer take the impact of the Swanton Bomb on his ass. His tailbone has suffered way too much damage over the 2 decades plus that he's been wrestling. And so now he has to land the entirety of the Swanton Bomb on his opponent's all back and shoulders. And I feel like he wants to jump off the cell to do the Swanton Bomb. And part of me really feels like Randy Orton would not want to take that impact if Jeff isn't going to cushion it a little bit with his butt. Because there's a potential of his ribs breaking, and from what I was thinking, like, we've seen it for I think 2 years in a row now. Someone goes up to the top of the Hell in a Cell, they jump, and they miss the target and hit the table instead, and the air balloon inside the table just cushions their fall, but not by much. So I thought that's going to happen again tonight, because there's no way Randy Orton's going to take the whole impact of the Swanton Bomb on his ribs and on his chest. But then I thought to myself, if I'm going with old school booking for the other Hell in a Cell match, then there needs to be a balance here, and a face needs to come out victorious in one of these matches. So for that reason, I feel like Randy Orton, being the consummate professional that he is, when he's not asking people to shake his hand after he's touched himself with it, I feel like Jeff Hardy will win this. I feel like Jeff Hardy will come out victorious in this match. And so that brings us to the main event. Braun Strowman is officially cashing in his Money in the Bank contract for a Hell in a Cell match against Roman Reigns for Reigns' Universal Championship. And again, I'm going to take you back to Monday. I mentioned that Dean and Seth, they came out strong on the go-home show against McIntyre. And, excuse me, I'm not crying. I'm just like struggling to breathe here. They came out victorious against McIntyre and Ziggler. And so with go-home booking to pay-per-view booking logic, you come out strong on the go-home show, you end up taking the fall on the pay-per-view. That's why I have McIntyre and Ziggler retaining the tag team championships here. And that is the same reason why I have Braun Strowman defeating Roman Reigns to take the Universal Championship inside Hell in a Cell tonight, because Roman Reigns came out on the stronger end of the go-home show when he Samoan dropped Braun through the stage. And so if we think about it, Hell in a Cell is basically a playground where Braun can just fuck shit up. They can do so many crazy spots in this match. And I feel like I won't be surprised if Roman comes out victorious, but I feel like I'm going with the upset pick here. I feel like Braun Strowman, via old school booking of go home to pay-per-view, I feel like it's his time to take the title. And the Dogs of War will look strong in the Super Showdown event, because they are booked to have a 6-man tag match against the Shield in Australia. So we'll see where things go from there. I mean, and they could carry this all the way into Survivor Series. Like Roman Reigns, there's no need to do a lengthy championship reign with him. This is one of those rivalries where you can take it back and forth between him and Braun, because we've seen what they can do in the past. When you put them in a match against each other, it's phenomenal. You might not like the fact that Roman will win some of them, but you love what you're seeing, because like Braun, you can basically hit him with a truck, you can run him over, and he will just somehow find a way to come back, and it makes the rivalry that much more intriguing. So I don't want to see the rivalry end here. I feel like Braun Strowman should win this belt, and they should extend the rivalry for as long as they can without it feeling forced. So just to recap, my predictions are New Day, Miz and Maurice, McIntyre and Ziggler, Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, Jeff Hardy, Braun Strowman, and Samoa Joe, though AJ retains the title. So those are my picks. I am your predictions champion for the second time. Hopefully, I won't have to lose it and win it back a third time. We'll see. We'll see if I'm right, because wrestling, yay. Wrestling is one of those weird things. And yeah, I have no idea what to say here. I'm just kind of like speaking off the cuff, even though I had notes to read over. But yeah, those are my picks. Hopefully by the end of this video, I will be your predictions champ and still. But for now, I'm the Cosmic Night Fury, Nico Suave Regoli, your reigning predictions champion. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Nico Suave Regoli. That's NicoSuaveRegoli. You can find me over at Multiplex Entertainment. That's the name of the Facebook group and the YouTube channel. The Twitter is at MultiplexYT. The Instagram is at Multiplex Entertainment Network. We really need to upload some shit on the Instagram. Not the Patreon, excuse me. The TeePublic is just Multiplex. Go check out a lot of our shirts. Me personally, go check out the Afro Samurai shirt. Go check out the House Night Fury shirt. Check out the Arrowverse Champion shirt, which I helped design. And yeah, I host Around the League every Sunday night at the most, not every Sunday night, but every Sunday at sometimes very random times of day, depending on what's going on. Today, it might just be a short one that I upload after Hell in a Cell is over. We'll see what happens there, because I'm kind of just rushing through things. It's supposed to be a family day. What else? Oh, yes. Tomorrow, Hunter and I will be doing a special. We'll be doing the first episode of our new wrestling podcast. Tomorrow's inaugural episode will be a review of the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, and then after which we will continue the show every Saturday on a weekly basis. We don't have a name for the podcast yet, as far as I know. We'll probably come up with it right before we record. But yeah, that's everywhere you can find me. So, Hell in a Cell, please be good. Be better to me, at least, than football has been to me today. And yeah, see you soon.